Greetings and a very good morning to you, Libra. Welcome to Wings of Libra, a place to rest your wings and uplift your spirit with guidance from the fairies. My name is KP. It is a blessing to be here with you. All right, let's fly right into our fairy ring reading for this morning. Okay, fairies, tell us about who's with us supporting us Libras today. Oh, ooh, okay, unity. Unity is here with us. Tell us about our wings, fairies. Tell us about Libra wings for today. It's such a beautiful morning here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I just saw a hummingbird. What is it like wherever you are tuning in from? Wow. Okay. Thank you. Whoa. Who else is supporting us? Wow. Okay. Okay. Can you give us one more, fairies? Where is our wing support for Libras? Okay. One more, fairies. No one they're playing with me. They're like, oh, you're asking for one more, but we'll give you how many we want to give you. Which at the moment, it's not coming. Okay. Sorry. Who else supports our Libran wings today, fairies? Who else must we remember the advice? Oh, I had a feeling. I had a feeling this was going to happen. I just said even one more, and I had a feeling that more would emerge. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. Wow. Okay. Here we go. So we got bonus cards today. Let's see. Let me bring these in a little bit more. Okay. All right. Here with us, Unity is reminding us, of course, that we are all united. We are all connected. And sometimes we forget to connect with ourselves. Sometimes some of us, especially Libras, from what I've seen, not only within myself, but other Libras, I have noticed that a lot of us have a tendency to put others before ourselves. And this card is reminding us that we are part of this unity as well. Let's not forget ourselves. Unity is here to remind us of that today. Here we have the Laumi, and forgive me, I may pronounce some of these wrong. I've only ever read them, I've never heard them. I believe this is Laumi, and she is the fairy of unconditional giving and unconditional receiving. And I had just mentioned with Unity how sometimes as Libras we can give and give and give. I see here she is very similar. She gives so much, her wings even become tattered. And she's taking a moment to rest and reflect and heal. Sometimes some of us can give and give and give, and we haven't been allowing ourselves to receive. Right now, She's resting. She's allowing that fairy magic to work. It's healing throughout her wings, and she's not upset with all that she's given because she gave it unconditionally. She knows that the universe is going to heal her, to refill her cup, so to speak. And she's not worried about it. She's just resting, relaxing, allowing herself to receive after she has just given so much that her wings are even a bit tattered. But look, she's not worried about it. She's not concerned that her wings aren't going to get healed. She knows, you can see it in, let me see if I can get it a little clearer. There we go. She's not worried about her wings. She knows they're going to get healed. She knows that the energy she put out is coming back to her, even if she doesn't see it right now. She turns around and looks, her wings are tattered. If she focuses on that, it might in that moment feel like she's never going to receive the healing or the energy that she put forth, but it is coming back to her, and she knows that. Here we have the sage. Some of us may have been blocking the sage's wisdom, so let's look at that. The sage, for some of us, we may have been blocking the sage's energy. The sage is similar to the hermit, and that this sage has become the hermit that has evolved and grown into the sage, because not all hermits go on to reach this. Some of the people that go on to put themselves in a hermit position end up staying there, not coming back to share the knowledge that they've gained in that time alone with the rest of us. That united, we might need to understand some of that knowledge, and we might not be um, realizing it in the lessons that we receive, but sometimes others can come in and give us a little light from the lamp that they're holding, and it can enlighten us and help us move forward. But if some of us have knowledge that we're sitting on, then we become that blockage to what would help others, because we're not sharing our knowledge with them. Some of us have gone within and have found great things. We've researched, maybe we've done a lot of shadow work. There are a lot of different things that maybe some of us have done, and it's wonderful. The fairies are proud of us for doing that, but some of us aren't sharing that. And there may be a risk of when people are trying to prove something rather than to discover something within their own sharing of knowledge as well. So be mindful that when you do share your knowledge, that you aren't coming from a place of trying to prove yourself right or prove others wrong, but rather just to help others discover the value in what you have. Because it's I think there is a saying about casting pearls before swine, and that is having to do with when you give information or something of value to beings that might not appreciate it. And sometimes that can scare us from coming out of our solitude and sharing with others. But there are some of us that are ready to receive this knowledge, but we can't receive it unless you come out, unless we start showing up to share what we have gained. We'll move on here to Hira of the Waters. This fairy is allowing that cool water to just pass through her fingers, and it's rejuvenating her. It's interesting how this came out before. This is reminding us to accept the changes. She could ball her hands up into a fist and the water will still flow through and then stop, and then she won't allow it to go through anymore. But when she holds her hands like this, the water just flows. She's allowed herself to become healed, as she understands that changes are a necessary part of our life, that we have important choices to make with how we receive, what's being given to us. And sometimes what's being given to us are choices. We have the choice to allow our emotions to go towards calm, flowing purity of the fairy waters, or we can allow our emotions to boil and get us into like a cauldron of things that we don't want. But this is reminding us to allow changes, to allow our healing. Sometimes we are resistant to our own healing because we might not think that we need it. We might take a bath today, or maybe wash our hands if we're unable to take a bath, maybe wash our hands at least a little bit longer than normal, just to feel that flow, get that connection with the fairy water flowing through your hands. Allow the coolness to refresh you, rejuvenate you, to heal the tatters in your wings. Okay, we have Spirit Dancer. This is a really fun card. So this card has to deal with some of the things that we've been nurturing in the dark, but not so much the same things that, or maybe not in the dark, but in our solitude or in our going into hermit mode, where this has to deal with all of the hidden knowledge that we were receiving and tapping into during our hermit time. This speaks to the fun side of us that we don't often share. So sometimes some of us dance in the kitchen when we think our kids aren't looking, or some of us might dance in the bathroom when we know nobody's in there with us. And some of us might, maybe we have a secret painting hobby or a secret writing hobby or some sort of fun that we have in secret, but we don't share with the world. This is calling us to focus and really concentrate on it, especially any of those things that involve the creative arts. Spontaneity balanced by self discipline will help us achieve our goals. So, this is a time to bring out and share qualities that we've been nurturing in private. It's interesting that um, these would have been the tips of our wings, but today I suppose these are the tips. So, this might be like the bending point. It's very interesting. Do you see how beautiful this spread came out today? Wow. It came out like the wings coming out. This is really neat. But yes, some of us are being reminded to come out of our hermit mode, share our knowledge, share our fun, share our fun. Wow, how many times do we hear that? That's such a beautiful card. Okay, now we have our bonus ones. Let's go into that. So here we go, a collective of pixies. So this card has to do with duty and willingness, but not just duty and willingness to go forth with our duties, but to do it merrily, happily, and to do so with those of um, virtuous spirit that would help us not only through it, but that actually want to see those goals, that they aren't just doing it out of some obligation to us, but that they also want to see these things coming into fruition. So this card is saying that when we do come out, when we do share our gifts, when we remember that even though we might not want to share them, that in the end we are all united. Maybe there are some things that we feel other people wouldn't value, but there are still some of us that we will value what you have, and we are eagerly anticipating it. We are being encouraged to share our fun, and we are being reminded of it again here, to not only come out, but to have fun with it, to approach everything with zeal, zest, zing, maybe even a little zaniness. This is a really, really fun card here. And our last bonus card is the RAR. So this is a really fun card to get, especially with everything here. Wow. No wonder you two popped out. Because so this is telling us to go about everything in a fun way. And this is just wild potential. And this is like the raw in like every sound, such as, okay, so because this energy doesn't discriminate, this is just wild energy. So like you could hear this in like a of a dog, you could hear this in a of an engine starting up, you could hear that in a cat purring, like a, this is just energy. energy flowing. This does caution us a bit though, because this is a really like bouncy enthusiasm card. This calls to mind Tigger from the Pooh series, the Pooh Bear and Christopher Robin. This is like Tigger. This is like the energy that flows through Tigger, where he's just bouncing around all the time, and he's just has all this energy. And sometimes it can get Tigger into trouble. Other times, it's exactly what everyone needs to move forward through something. They need that bouncy enthusiasm. So here we're supported by the RAR. That's a beautiful reading. Wow, this is amazing. So, okay, let's sum this up real quick before we make some space for an angel and ancestor advice, because I'd like to end with that. But here we're being reminded that we are supported by unity. We are being supported by all that we are connected to, which is everything. We are being reminded of that. We're being reminded to allow ourselves to rest, to know that the unconditional giving that is also a part of unconditional receiving. Allow ourselves to receive and heal our wings. We've been giving so much. It's time to allow ourselves to receive healing and appreciation. I think it might have to do with when we share our knowledge and when we share our fun, creative talents, then it helps bring in appreciation, and that appreciation can heal our wings. Just as here, she's not concerned that the water's flowing through her fingers. She's not worried that that water flowing through her fingers is the last water that she's ever going to hold. She knows that it's flowing, but she also knows that she has to allow her knowledge and her fun to come out for it to flow back to her, because everything is going to keep flowing. We're reminded to go about our duties and these things that we're sharing in a fun and lighthearted way. And we're also being cautioned that even though we have the fun, lighthearted enthusiasm, don't let it be like Tigger getting us into trouble, but use this enthusiasm to move us forward. Wow, this is so beautiful. Okay, so we'll get one card from the angels and ancestors and ask them what they have to support this too. Angels and ancestors, what can you add to our fairy wing reading for this morning for all Libra people? Sun, moon, rising, angels and ancestors, can you add anything to our fairy wing reading for this morning, please? Ooh. Oh, I never turned around. Who's at the bottom of the deck? Who's been at the bottom of the deck? Maybe that's why they're not coming out. Okay, that's why they're telling me it's not time yet. Because I forgot somebody. At the bottom of the deck, we have Taichin the Sylph. How could I not do that? Okay, let's jump into that real quick. So this is really exciting because she's also, in my opinion, a fairy that is very much in alignment with our Libra and air energies, because she is all about thoughts, like quick thinking, acute intellect, mental synthesis, discernment. She is all about lots of ideas, and she's willing to express and consider them at great length. She likes to hang out in places like where discussions are taking place. She loves to share ideas. She loves to drop little ideas or hints of ideas or her own ideas. She might whisper it to somebody and they think it's their own idea. She doesn't really care about credit. She's just happy to keep the conversation going. And what's really interesting about her support here too is that she supports all that we've just discussed, in that she's telling us that what we have here is, with everything coming in and with our healing that we've been allowing, we've been given some real mental stimulation in that time. So we have also adaptability though and enthusiasm. So we can adapt to this and all of this, and we can create with others enthusiastically. So she's just here also. We might take a bit of hmm, mindfulness with her because she, like this energy, is very active, very flowing. She'll talk in length about ideas that don't make sense. And that's okay with her. She doesn't mind. But sometimes when we have deadlines or other things that we might need to meet as we co create with others, then sometimes this energy takes us in other directions, like how Tigger can take us in another direction, bouncing away. And we're having so much fun bouncing that it's like, oh, wait, we need to, bounce on home because we have things to do or whatever we have to go on with our life. But here, this is telling us that we're going to be receiving, or have been maybe already receiving, a bunch of new ideas, and we are reminded or asked to be selective about them because they might just be coming in so fast, or we might have so many of them, and they might excite us so much. She's also giving us a lot of ideas, so we might just be selective about them, and we are reminded to avoid excess and extremes. Okay, now let's go into the angels and ancestors. Okay, angels and ancestors. Thank you for reminding me to be patient as I did not finish what I was doing earlier. Now, will you give us some guidance to add to what the fairies have said, please? Angels and ancestors, will you give us any advice or support for the fairy wing reading for Libras today? Ooh, oh, this just fell. Wow, Magic Guardian. Okay. Unlock the magic within. Wow, this is such a beautiful card. And it's interesting. Ask for a fairy wing reading, and here we go. Okay, so let's put this here so we have space. Wow. Wow. So this, wow. No wonder this card just fell out, and no wonder it came here. Wow, I'm just okay. So, this is talking about unlocking our inner magic, and straight up tells us to stop looking outside ourselves and recognize that we have incredible power within. So, this is telling us that we don't need to look outside ourselves for validation or reminders that we have powers. I mean, maybe some of us have been doing that in the form of watching videos like this, as bad as that might sound. It's not so much to shame us or anything like that, but we don't need to keep watching different tarot or readings to know that we have this power. I mean, maybe we do need a little bit of a reminder, but then we don't need to binge watch different readings to try and be told what we already know, what we already have within us. Our knowledge that we've gained in our hermit time and our fun that we dabble in that we haven't told anyone about. These are things that are going to help others grow, but our power can only be powerful when we own it. So if we're not owning our power, then we're not able to help ourselves move forward. We keep ourselves stagnant and we're not helping others grow that might benefit from our knowledge. We would be sitting here with our tattered wings, simply looking at our tattered wings and wondering how we fix them when we know that it'll be fixed, it'll come back to us. There is more than enough for all of us. By sharing, we will be receiving so much love, so much appreciation, and we have everything we need within us. Wow, this is just such a beautiful reading. I hope that it has uplifted your spirit. I know it's definitely uplifted mine. Thank you, fairies. Thank you, angels. Thank you, ancestors. Wow. All right, Libras, let's continue into this day, knowing what we know now that we have been given this beautiful reading by the fairies, the angels, and the ancestors. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I hope it opens into a wonderful weekend. And I look forward to hearing about all of the gifts that you're going to share now in the future. I look forward to seeing them. This is really a beautiful thing. Thank you for showing up with me today. I wish you all a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, a wonderful life.